game. This is Powerball. Good evening, America. I'm Laura Johnson. Tonight we have another life-changing jackpot for you. It's worth an estimated $442.1 million. So get those tickets out. Let's play. That first number up is 3. Followed by the number 18. Tonight we're going to meet Zach Nuremberg, who won $1 million playing Powerball. Congratulations, Zach. Now for the rest of those numbers, we've got 36, 53, rounding it out with 27. Your Powerball number tonight, good luck everyone, is 12, and your Power Play multiplier is 2. Let's take a look at those numbers one last time. Remember, there are multiple ways to win. We'll see you back here Monday night. Good night, everyone.
Live from Augusta, we're watching News 1226 at 11.
Good evening. It was a big day for our Georgia high school basketball programs. We'll have who is moving on to the state championships in just a moment. Now, in the wake of Augusta University nursing student Laken Riley's death, people across the nation have responded in many ways. Here at home, Columbia County Republicans held a rally today to raise more awareness around a number of issues Riley's death has highlighted. Her suspected killer, Jose Ibarra, is in custody, facing several charges. His brother is also facing several charges at the same time in a separate case. Officials say Ibarra entered the country illegally. Now we're going to toss things over to Audrey Dickerber, who joins us from the newsroom with more on the conversation happening in Evans. Audrey?
Emotions were running high at the rally. People vocalized their concerns about safety for college students across the country and for safety of Americans overall, while advocating for change. It's a nightmare that hits too close to home for many people here.
This is such an important issue that we need to speak for our children. We have 4 children. One of them is almost 21. And so we can really relate to the pain of the mother and the father of that daughter in Athens. It is a tragic situation that she had to go through. And it's time for the people of Columbia County and of Georgia to stand up and speak for those that can't speak for themselves.
They're hoping there aren't more victims like Laken Riley ever again.
If we don't do something now, it's not just going to be Laken Riley. It's going to be my sister. It's going to be your sister. It's going to be any other student. Think of all the boys and their girlfriends and the girlfriends and their girlfriends.
People talked about issues with the border and the presidential election coming up in November and how they want to see change in America.
Our children are not going to grow up in a country that we grew up in. It doesn't seem like it's going to go back to what we grew up in, but at least we have to try and make it civil, safe.
Hoping their call to action makes a difference.
I have no political affiliation to this whatsoever. I think that it is a country issue. It is a country, a state, and a county issue that we need to come together as American citizens. You don't have to take a political side to it.
There will be another rally for Laken Riley in Athens on March 5th. We'll have more information about that on our website, wrdw.com.
Very hard and complex conversation. Thanks for following that today, Audrey. We're not going to toss things over to First Alert meteorologist Emily Acton. What can we expect for the rest of our weekend heading into a week filled with rain?
Yeah, Craig, thankfully tomorrow's looking dry, so that's some good news. We've had a dry weekend, maybe a little bit gloomy out there with those low-hanging clouds today. That kind of kept our temperatures pretty mild, but actually seasonable for this time of year. We saw highs in those middle and upper 60s. Now we are dipping into the 50s, and we're really just going to cruise in the lower 50s throughout the rest of the overnight hours. So to start off your Sunday, really not looking too cold out there. We'll be right around 52 degrees. We'll warm up slowly but surely throughout the afternoon. Going to see a little bit of cloud cover there. So for your Sunday service forecast, might need a jacket as you head out the door, but by the time you might get out of service, things are going to be a little bit warmer. We'll be in those lower to middle 60s, and then by tomorrow afternoon, we'll top off in those upper 60s, but that's going to be one of our few days of not seeing any rainfall. Monday's looking dry, Tuesday looking mostly dry, but after that, Craig, we're going to see some rainfall, and I'll have that broken down for you coming up soon.
On your sideline.
What better way to tip off the month of March than by having not one, not two, but three high school basketball teams from Augusta competing in the Class 2A state semifinals. Westside, Butler, and Josie all put on a show for the fans here in Milledgeville with trips to their state championships on the line. The Josie Lady Eagles have a long history of success, so they're not too far removed from winning their state title in 2021. In this year's playoffs, all of Josie's wins have been by at least 17 points, and they were flying high into their state semifinal showdown with Central Macon. This game was tied at the half, but in the third quarter, the Lady Eagles took off. The combination of Kiesia Henderson getting hot from behind the three-point line and Kerry Fluellen pushing the pace in transition and taking it to the rim gave Josie the push they needed to win 45-38. After hearing T-Dub chants echo throughout the arena, I caught up with the Lady Eagles to find out how they're feeling about that emotional win and punching their ticket to state.
It felt real good. Like, I was just very emotional, and I just really wanted it out there. And, you know, sometimes when I get a bucket or something, I just got to express myself, you know. That's all. I just be feeling myself. That's it.
They have everything in their toolkit to be able to go out there and play effectively and hang with anybody. But, you know, I may be a little bit biased, but that's just the way I feel as a coach. All they had to do was just calm that nervousness, settle down. They have the tools. They just had to go out there and execute.
Shortly after Josie's big win, the Butler Bulldogs played in their state semifinal against Toombs County, and man, this one came down to the wire. Butler was down by 10 points at the half, and during the break, head coach Chaz Clark changed up their defense a bit to get the Bulldogs back in it. Playing a soft man defense completely threw Toombs County off their game, and a great team effort led by Roosevelt Brown, Kwame Bridges, and Marcus Scurry helped Butler come all the way back to take the lead with 4 minutes to go. But despite that incredible second half turnaround, the size and the strength of Toombs County was just a little bit too much for Butler, and sadly the Bulldogs came up short 47-42, bringing their amazing season to an end.
I was extremely proud. We probably didn't play our cleanest basketball, but we played our most resilient basketball. We played our toughest basketball. We played our most mentally strong basketball. We played our most together basketball in that push in the second half. So, as a coach, man, what can you say, man? They gave me every ounce of what they had.
In the finale of this marathon day of high school basketball, the two-time defending state champion Westside Patriots went head-to-head with Columbia in a game between two of the top three ranked teams in all of Class 2A. Westside got out on the break early with some great defense, spearheaded by the man in the middle, Bobby Blackwell. That led to multiple opportunities in transition in the first quarter and throughout the whole game. The Patriots' ability to run has kept opposing teams on their heels the whole season, and that was no different in the state Final Four. While Columbia did pick things up down the stretch to keep this one close, Westside kept them at arm's length and came out on top 70-59. The Westside Patriots' unprecedented run of success continues, punching their ticket to the Class 2A state championship for the third year in a row. That means they're only one more win away from completing a three-peat.
It's surreal, because to be here last year, two-peating, and then back this year here, and knowing that we have an opportunity. So we're grateful to have the opportunity. One of our goals this season was to make it to the state playoffs. We didn't matter to seed. It didn't matter to seed. We just wanted to have an opportunity, okay? And once we got that opportunity, then let's see, can we get an opportunity to defend the title? And that's all we want, an opportunity to defend.
I just take a big pride in feeling that nobody can score on me. And when they come to the paint, that's my paint. That's why I like to do my dirty work. That's why I like to take control over it. So once I realized that I can block shots and give my teammates fast breaks, I just love it. I do what I do.
Both Westside and Josie will be competing in their respective state championship games this upcoming Thursday, March 7th in Macon. We're going to have live coverage leading up to and through both of those state championship games, with Josie trying to fly back up to the mountaintop and Westside looking to complete the three-peat. Reporting from Georgia College and State University in Milledgeville, Dan Booth on your side. Well, congratulations to all of our teams completing and proceeding into their seasons, and thank you, Dan. Now, ahead of Super Tuesday, Nikki Haley and Donald Trump head rallies in North Carolina. More on the last-minute Super Tuesday political pushes next on News 12 at 11.
Go to the ends of the earth
Right now. And this weekend, the Biden campaign is stepping up its outreach to female voters. The First Lady just launched a Women for Biden-Harris organizing group. She's on the campaign trail today in key battleground states in the West, including Arizona and Nevada. And tomorrow she's headed to Wisconsin. Now, the annual sled dog race, known as the Iditarod, is Alaska's official sport, and they held their ceremonial start today. This year, one musher, Dallas Seavey, is looking for history. He will turn 37 during the race in an attempt to win his 6th Iditarod Trail sled god race across Alaska. He would become the race's most decorated champion, and a tourist spoke about what brought them to the U.S.'s northernmost state.
We found out a little bit about the Iditarod, and we put it on our bucket list, said we have to come see it. So here we are, 6 years later, we're seeing the start of the Iditarod.
And if that didn't excite you enough, there are a total of 38 mushers competing in this year's race. They will trace a course across 2 mountain ranges, a frozen river, and sea. About 10 days later, they will come off the ice and push for the finish line. Exciting stuff there in Alaska.
Well, we're not seeing cold weather like that here. Actually, it'll be above average for the overnight hours and very seasonable this week. Check on your forecast coming up.
Popeyes.
The First Alert Team, named best in Georgia.
Alrighty, Emily, it's been a fairly decent weekend and a recent few days of nice weather. A little bit of rain, but I hear we're going to hit some more rain heading into the week. What do we have to savor for the rest of the weekend?
Well, thankfully, Greg, we're going to see nice conditions for our Sunday and even Monday. So things are going to be a little bit below average for the overnight hours, let me backtrack there. They're going to be above average, for the overnight hours. We'll be in those 50s, really not cooling off much more than what we are currently seeing. I'm expecting to see a low right around 52, 51 in some spots. So, again, abundance of cloud cover overnight tonight, and that's really going to keep us on that warmer side. And we're not the only people seeing this warmth. If we go over to the west a little bit, Texas sitting in those 60s right now, 63 in Wichita, Kansas. So we're only about 10 degrees behind them, a little bit cooler as you go northward here in the Northeast, but other than that, things are really staying pretty mild overnight tonight. So again, above average temperatures will be in those 50s and really not cooling off much more for the overnight and for the early mornings for your Sunday. Conditions are dry right now. That's going to stay true throughout the day tomorrow and even into Monday. So definitely want to hold on to that because the rain is coming our way after we saw a very wet day yesterday. Thankfully, again, we're going to stay dry overnight. The start to our Sunday looking nice and dry. A little bit of a break in the cloud cover there, and that's going to determine if we reach those middle 70s or if we're only going to stay in those lower 70s. If we have more cloud cover, we'll see right around 71. If we have some breaks in the clouds, we'll get up into those middle 70s there. And we're going to see a little bit of cloud cover come into play for our Monday, but starts to break up by midday. We can expect to see highs in those middle 70s come Monday, but dry conditions will continue throughout Monday and even Tuesday. So again, Sunday, Monday, starting off the mornings in the 50s, warming up into those 70s for the afternoon, staying dry until early Wednesday morning. We can see those showers moving in from the Gulf, that low pressure really just bringing that rainfall. We could see a couple of flash flood watches issued for our area, but overall, not expecting a big flooding event, but not seeing any severe weather concerns with this as well. And this is March, so this is the time of year that we definitely need to be paying attention to those things. And good news, really not expecting anything other than some flooding possible. But we're reading anywhere from 3/4 of an inch to a little bit over an inch on our European model. But again, the exact amount of rainfall will change as we get closer to time. But nonetheless, we're just thinking maybe a flash flood possible. But overall, those conditions are not looking too bad for our Wednesday. Thursday looking dry, partly cloudy. We'll see highs in those lower 70s, and then the rain chances come back into play. Friday and Saturday will drop off into those upper 60s for those afternoons. But Craig, we've got 3 pretty decent days for us: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then even again on Thursday. So we need to focus on the sunshine and not so much the cloud cover and the rainfall for this week.
Definitely going to head out and take advantage of those high temps and sunny skies. Thanks for the heads up, Emily. Now, as we head to break, here's a live look at Milwaukee and your winning lotto numbers.
When moderate.
First Alert Radar, powered by Jim Hudson Automotive Group.
Tens of millions of people are being impacted by a powerful blizzard across at least 8 states in the West. California and Nevada are seeing the worst of it. CBS's Carter Evans is in the town of Truckee, California, with the latest.
California's most powerful blizzard this year is hammering Lake Tahoe and other Sierra Nevada communities. Busy highways and roads shut down due to dangerous whiteout conditions.
Couldn't even see the road. There's like no road to see.
A Union Pacific plow train is busy cleaning out tons of snow, joining the heavy-duty plows working around the clock. The National Weather Service says more than 500,000 people are under a blizzard warning. Many are hunkering down, stocking up on batteries and lanterns.
I'm about to go home and not leave for the next couple days.
Several ski resorts, including Sugar Bowl, are also off limits, shut down because of avalanche danger. Residents nearby are now bracing for the next round.
I do expect with the high winds that the power will go out this weekend.
Turns out the wind from this blizzard is having a big impact on snow levels. Those gusty high-level winds are breaking apart snowflakes, according to the lead scientist at the Berkeley Snow Lab. Now, as a result, those snowflakes are smaller. When they get down to the ground, they pack together tighter, and in some areas, snow levels might be a little lower than predicted. Carter Evans, CBS News, Truckee, California.
Also in California, 4 people were injured after a large tree collapsed in San Francisco. Strong winds and heavy rain caused the tree to fall onto the road, crushing a car yesterday afternoon. The tree was around 20 to 25 feet tall. All the victims were taken to the hospital with minor injuries, and traffic was rerouted until the tree was cleared. Now, on the other side, crews in Texas Panhandle are battling spot fires that threaten to reverse progress on containing the Smokehouse Creek fire. Smoke was seen billowing above a grassland. As crews were out today, several fire trucks and tractors raced to stop the flames from springing up, and crews dousing the smoldering field. Spot fires could set back efforts to fight the Smokehouse Creek fire, the state's largest wildfire on record. The deadly wildfire has killed 2 people, and a Forest Service worker spoke about the challenges from that weather.
Texas in the Panhandle had higher than average rain over the winter, and so there's a lot more grass, which we consider fuel. That's what's going to burn. So there's a lot of fuel on the ground, and when you add high winds and low humidity to high fuel load levels, that's when you get the conditions that are right for large, fast-spreading wildfires.
And the wildfire is blamed for destroying hundreds of structures and charring more than 1 million acres so far. General Motors is recalling nearly 820,000 pickup trucks because of an issue with the vehicle's tailgates. It says the issue involves the gate latch of some Chevy, Silverado, and GMC Sierra truck beds. The automaker says if water gets into the tailgate, it may short circuit, either not opening or closing, which could cause items to fly out of the back of the truck. The models range from those made in 2020 to 2024, and 1 person has been injured in relation to this issue.
We just saw traces of rainfall today across the CSRA, a drastic difference from what we saw yesterday. Mostly dry for the end of our weekend, but rain on the way. I'll have a final check on your forecast coming up.
When I was a Marine,
One more story before we go. The Georgia Department of Natural Resources announced who came out on top of its youth birding competition. The work of 8 artists was picked to go on t-shirts, and the grand prize winner is 13-year-old Alina Huang, an 8th grader in Duluth. DNR also shared pictures of the winners and runner-ups in the primary, elementary, middle school, and high school division competitions. Just some excellent work there. I know that all I could do is some, stick figure owls with a pencil. These 8th graders are, well, all levels of these people are putting together some amazing works of art there. We should have gotten Riley Hale to analyze some of the birds here.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, those are some really, really artistic kids. That's really cool that they put those on t-shirts. I love that idea. I'd love to see it. Forecast, though, could be a little bit better, but not terrible. We'll start off the week partly cloudy, and we'll warm up into those middle 70s as early as Monday, but rain chances come into play Wednesday and again by the end of the week, Craig.
Well, thank you for that, Emily, and thank you for joining us here on News 12 at 11. I'm Craig Allison. Be sure to check our morning shows that start around 4 and 5.